Years Australia is making a lot of changes in the industry, and I think many people, they don't know what happened.
I remember Iris text me and she was like, try to do all of your assessments before 1st of September.
Like you are now in your 45 visa, you got your skill assessment, you got a lot of opportunities now, but many students are struggling to find a job like in drafter.
You know what, I'm gonna get it. I'm gonna get it, I'm gonna get it, I'm gonna get it. I was manifesting.
Meditating, writing down. Can I contact her? And that's so important, like the networking I think is the best way you can sell yourself, you know?
Yes, networking is the key to find jobs here. So if you are studying civil construction design, like study Revit or AutoCAD, like that's so important. We are drafters, like we are designers. Like what you need to know is the software. That's it.
Because we know for your visa to expire, isn't it?
Reading my expression of index. Visa is finishing on 29th of April. But of course I have a second option right now that is my partner. And yes, the sponsor as well.
Oh no.
Yes, the sponsor as well. I have like all the opportunities because I create the opportunities.
Because you create
your
reality.
Opportunities.
Amazing, I like that. Hello everyone, welcome to the new episode, third episode of Abbey College Podcast. I have the pleasure of having here one of our first graduates of civil construction design, our advanced diploma specifically. Keyla, thank you so much for making it here. I know you're working so hard right now in the industry. And of course, I think your story can inspire a lot of people that are not only studying civil construction design, but also are looking for a new job so they can stay longer in Australia. And that's the idea, that people like you can share the message that is possible in doing that, and that also depends in how you take your chances. So welcome Keyla to this new episode. How are you feeling? How are you doing?
Well, thanks Dylan to invite me. I'm really happy to share my experience and just to help people with whatever they need.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. So let's talk about firstly, how was your experience as an international student coming from Colombia originally, right? And that you study a career that maybe was kind of similar. How you came to Australia? How was your experience?
So I came to Australia in 2019, 3 months before pandemic.
Yeah.
So yes, I was just coming for 6 months, as a lot of people, and then just go back to Colombia and try to get a really good job with English and blah blah and all of that thing. But then pandemic changed my life. At that moment, my visa was going to finish, my student visa was going to finish, and the same money that I have to spend on the flight was the same money that I have to spend on to extend my visa. So I was like, you know what, whatever, let's extend the visa for 1 more year, work, and then go back to Colombia. Yes, but in between, of course, everything changed, and I fell in love with the country. So I actually studied a certificate in marketing and communication.
Wow.
Yes, for a year.
Yeah.
And then after the certificate, I was like, okay, it's time to decide if I want to go back, actually want to go back, or I want to stay here. So that's when I started like talking to lawyer migrators and all of that thing to see like how my profile could align with some careers in Australia. So I'm an industrial designer, and I wanted something like designing or drafting or whatever.
Yeah.
At the beginning, I actually wanted to study naval engineering.
Naval?
Yes, naval. So my dad is
interesting.
A naval in Colombia.
Yeah.
So I grew up around boats and ships and yes. So, and I actually did a course back in Colombia in La Nacional. But to work in that field in Australia, you have to be a citizen.
Yeah, I think not everyone can work on that.
So, some of my others, how can I say that? Other courses that I was able to do was like electrical design or civil and construction design. And because I wanted to be a naval architecture, civil and construction design was more aligned with whatever I want, It was not about chips, it was about buildings and houses and all of that thing, but at the end it's the same.
Yeah.
Like, it's the same. So that's what I decided to study civil and construction.
Oh yeah, interesting, because it was anyway similar to that, and that will help you as well to grow your professional career, even though it was not the same similar structure. So then you talk to your migration lawyer and you say, now I want to stay in Australia because I fall in love with Adelaide, with the country, with everything, with the fish and chips. Or the chicken parmigiana.
Yeah, sure.
Like we saw in Sydney in the Bad Bunny concert when they put like the food of Australia. That was so funny.
I know. Yes, it was funny.
Yeah, so I reckon you fall in love, and then why you choose Abbey College?
So, I used to live in Melbourne, first of all. I was not living in Adelaide.
Yeah.
Yes, I used to live in Melbourne for 3 years. All pandemic time, I was living in Melbourne. And then when the borders were about to open, when I was like, I have to decide right now before a lot of people came to the country, because if I move, that's gonna be hard to find a job and to settle down and everything. So I was between Perth and Adelaide, but because I was living in Melbourne, the closer city, regional closer city to Melbourne was Adelaide. That's why I came to Adelaide. And the other thing was like, I studied civil construction when was still online classes.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
I remember those times.
Yes. So Abbey give me the opportunity to live all my life in Melbourne slowly, and then come back to Adelaide. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's because of the option that you could do it online. That's why you choose Abbey College, because there were a lot of colleges, but in that time there were not many civil construction in Adelaide. Right?
Yeah. That's the other thing. Like, there was just like 2 colleges, I think, that were giving civil construction design, and I don't know. Adelaide was the one that Abbey was the one that I say like, yes, I really want to study in that college.
Yeah, I think back then that was 2022, 2023.
2022.
2022. So that time there were not many providers offering this. We were like kind of the pioneers of construction courses regarding architecture or civil engineering. So you choose Abbey, and then how was your experience when you moved to Adelaide, and then you start, learning the course face to face?
So it was such a change, because what I say, I came before pandemic, so most of my English classes and marketing and communication classes and all of that thing were in online.
Yeah.
So coming to Adelaide, that was really nice, because I didn't know anyone here. So having face-to-face classes was like, you actually could see people.
Yeah.
I met my best friend in Abbey, who is Alvaro, that studied here as well with me. So yes, it was nice. And like the teacher, at the beginning, we have a different teacher, and then we changed the teacher to a Colombian teacher, who is Camilo.
Yeah.
And that was amazing. That was the best of the best, and yes.
Yeah, I think Camilo was, until now, I think he's one of the best trainers we have ever had. And I think thanks to Camilo, we're having a lot of graduates with a lot of experience in this kind of softwares, and as well we want to show that to the audience, So how was your experience with Camilo?
Amazing. Like, I think Camilo is that type of teacher that is really like into the students' knowledge.
Yeah.
Like really, you need to know this thing, because outside you're gonna need it.
Yeah.
Like, yes, like all of that. Like right now I'm working in structural, and that was thanks to Camilo, because he was like teaching all of the beams and how to get the loads and all of the things,
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. So he was more teaching Revit as well.
Yes, Revit and AutoCAD.
AutoCAD.
Training AutoCAD.
And that helped you as well with that, so which is good. And then after you start like having the classes with him, and then you start progressing, did you think that maybe this was your career, or you doubt yourself that this could be your pathway?
When I was studying, I knew that was my career. First of all, because it was design, and structural is different industry, but at last it's the same.
Yeah.
Like foundations and then beams and columns and wall frames and all of the supports, structure, steel structure and all of that thing. So I knew that from like long time, this one was going to be my career, my whole life. Right now working, I don't know.
Yeah, that's a different story.
Yes, that's a different story. But yes, at that moment, I knew this course was what I want.
That's amazing. And then later on, Engineers Australia was making a lot of changes in the industry, and I think many people, they don't know what happened, or maybe they understand what happened with Engineers Australia, because before September 2024, you could actually study this course and you don't need to present any project to be able to get the skill assessment. So basically you study for 2 years and then you get your skill assessment, right?
Yes. So in my case, I was about to finish like 19th of September, something like that, 19th of September 2024, and I remember Iris text me, and she was so supportive. So she was like, let's try to do all of your assessments before 1st of September so you could graduate and actually apply for
Before the changes. Yeah.
So I did all of that thing like a week before all of the changes. So for me was fine. Yes, I didn't have to deal with all of the changes after 1st of September.
And what were those changes, just to tell?
So I just applied with my PTE, with my graduate certificate, and some other things, but that's it.
Yeah.
And I know right now you have to do your CDR.
Yeah.
And yes, a lot of like write reports and all of that thing. I didn't have to do that. Thank God.
Lucky one.
Yes.
Yeah.
Plus, my visa was finishing on the 28th of September.
Ooh.
So I was just like running out of time. I was just like boom, 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 doing to try to get everything before 28th of September.
Of course, and then because you got the skill assessment approved, because you didn't have to do any report, it was easy for you.
Yes.
And then apply to the graduate visa, right?
So at that moment, I don't know how it's working right now, but at
Yeah.
that moment I have to pay a fast track.
Yeah.
And I get my skill assessment like a week after I apply.
Wow.
Yes, so that was amazing.
Yeah, I think that's why like this course was so popular after that, before that, because any provider, like you study this course, you get your skill assessment, 485 visa, it's straightforward. And now I think everything has changed with Engineers Australia. Now basically you need to do a competency demonstration report, you need to do 3 essays, and then it's a little bit complicated for the students, but that's why we're trying to give them all the best knowledge possible with our trainers to be able for them to be successful, which I think your story is really good, because in that way you could, now find a job. Now, tell me a little bit about that. How was finding a job? And then, like, you are now in your 485 visa, you got your skill assessment, you got a lot of opportunities now, but many students are struggling to find a job, like in drafter occupations. How did you get it?
So, I was applying to a lot of jobs, and I get lucky about this job. They call me, but actually they were about to open a new position. So I went to do the interview 11th of November 2024. I will never forget that. 11th of November 2024. And I remember the HR person in the company say like, you look like the best candidate, but we don't know if we actually gonna open that position. But I was like, you know what, I'm gonna get it. I'm gonna get it. I'm gonna get it. I was manifesting,
meditating, writing down.
I know that job is for me. First of all, because it was a structural design. I do a structural design. It was a structural design, of course, in a environment that I don't know, because at that moment, like the company is electrical, like we design switchboard and switch rooms.
Yeah.
Switch room is like a big, like containers, big containers that go to the mines or go to the North Territory, or just like really big companies that are in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
So, and I use SolidWorks. So, of course, I feel so comfortable with that software because that was the software that I was working on my whole career in Colombia. So I was like,
this is it?
Yes, like that's the job.
Yeah.
This is the job. This is the job for me. And they ended up calling me on March.
It was like 4 months gap.
Yes.
Oh my
3
God.
of March, no, 2nd of March, they call me. They say the position is yours. They send me the letter of offer. I sign, and the next day I was working.
Wow. So did you start applying for jobs and they just call you for interview and that's how it works for you? Or like you had a friend that helped you out, or how was you get connected with that company?
Well, actually, my partner knows someone on the company, and I have find that most of the Adelaide companies work like that. It's actually networking.
Networking.
Yes, networking is the key to find jobs here, because in that company is like families working there, or best friend of the best friend working there, or my dad is working there. Like most of the companies are like that, or someone that someone is going to work in that company. Juan, another Colombian person that I met in one of your online webinars.
Ah.
He contacted me.
No way.
On LinkedIn. I had his
I think he told
CV.
me that.
Yes. And now my boss wanted to hire him because we opened a new position.
What's his name?
Juan.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. I think we did a Engineers Australia webinar, isn't it? Yeah, I think you were doing like an interaction, like sharing your experience. And I think someone said, "Can I contact her?" And that's so important. Like the networking, I think, is the best way you can sell yourself. You know?
Yes. Yes. I feel
crazy.
that networking here is the best, and there is like too many things to do networking. Like, I don't know if I should say this, but I really want to work in a company that name is BAE. That is the government company here in Adelaide who design all of the submarines and ships and all of that thing. Of course, I need to be a citizen
for that.
But probably in less than 2 years, I'm gonna be a citizen.
That's cool.
And from one of the women's migration meetings, I met a girl that she is actually working there, a Colombian girl that she is actually working there, and she was like, whenever you get your citizen, contact me.
Ooh.
So yes, I feel that networking is the best of the best.
Yeah, because without that connections, like yesterday, Study Adelaide was here. I don't know if you saw the posts. Study Adelaide came here, and Study Adelaide is an entity that is regulated by the government, and they help like schools and students to get connected with workshops, job placement workshops. So they make them job ready, you know, like they check your CVs, they check your resumes, and of course, like they were saying the same thing, like you don't know who you're gonna meet, you don't know like if you're gonna meet the next your next boss over there. So they were saying like encouraging students to go to the workshops, not to only work, because I think it's hard for us anyway, you know, we have to work a lot and we have to process a lot of information being an international student. But I think it's amazing how networking is working right now.
Yes, it's just meeting people that is in the industry that you are actually wanting to apply and work in, you know. So yes, that's totally important.
Okay, so then you had the interview because you met your partner met this person.
Yes, my partner met this person, so he was like of course you need like this type of skills. And I got the interview, and my boss was the one that say, okay, like my interview was an hour and a half, so half an hour was just like answering questions, and then the next hour was actually showing my skills. So I actually have to work on the software that I'm working on right now, because my boss at that moment say like, of course we want to hire people that actually know the software, and that's what I get hired. Like I didn't have any idea about switch rooms. I didn't have any idea about electrical equipments. Of course, right now after 1 year,
Yeah,
I know a lot.
Yeah.
But at the beginning, no. So most of the companies are like willing to teach if you know the software. Like they just need people who know the software.
Like the basics, the base of the software at least, right?
Yes.
But that's it.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, that's what we were telling people yesterday in our Revit workshop. Like, you just need to know the basics and foundation just to show your future employer, that you got the skills at least, because they can teach you, you know?
Yes. Maybe in Revit or AutoCAD, maybe in Revit, I know more about Revit, is like how to do walls, how to do not even like that much plumbing, how to put windows, how to place doors, lights, all of that things. Like they just need to know how to place that type of thing in the software, and then they are willing to teach you.
That's amazing.
Everything else.
And then later on, when you get that interview done, what was the next step? What happened?
So the next step for me was like, that's my job. That's gonna be my job, and that's gonna be my job. At that moment, I was working in hospitality. So I was just like, and it was summertime, of course. So I was just like working in hospitality, but in my mind was like, I want that job. I started applying for another jobs as well, but my CV, definitely my CV at that moment was not that good, and I could look it up now that I know actually what you need to have on a CV. Yes. And I was like, maybe that's why a lot of companies were not calling me, and also the cover letter. Mm-hmm. Yes. Right now in the industry, of course, I could see like all of my mistakes before. Yeah. Yes, but I got lucky. So yes, for example, with my brother, I'm helping to how to do the CV, how to do the cover letter. I could see right now, through a CV and say, okay, this is good, and someone could call you from this, or no one gonna call you from this, you know. Like being in the industry, you have knowledge about actually what the HR people gonna see.
Check, yeah, which is important. And then you receive the call.
Oh my God, yes. I remember I was like, I don't want to be in hospitality anymore, because you see me so extroverted and talking and all of that thing. But I feel that I'm actually not a people's person. Yes, I'm actually introverted. I'm an introverted person.
Oh, really?
Yes, I'm an introverted person.
I think they're gonna judge you.
Like really, my close friends know that I'm not like that extroverted, and my social battery could go like down so quick. What I was talking about this?
No. You're talking about how was the call?
Yes. So I was like, yes, like hospitality, like no more, because I feel that I didn't have any more energy to be there. Plus, I already finished my course at that moment. I finished in Colombia, and I straight away come to Australia. So for me, it was like this is the point that I really need to have a professional job. I got my 485, so of course it was just like 18 months that you have to get a job, because you need that 5 points to apply for the visa, or at least 6 months to get the expression of interest and all of the things. So I was like, yes, like this is the moment that I need a job. I need my professional job. So I remember I was just like lying on the sofa, and they called me, and they were like, hi Keyla, you came for an interview before, and blah blah blah, and the one position is available, and you are still the best candidate to to come to work, and I was like, oh my god, oh my gosh. I was like, God telling me something, like the angels just singing next to me. I don't know, it was amazing.
I imagine that. Oh my god.
Yes.
So everything got just in one piece. Everything got connected. The puzzle just got solved. Wow.
And you know what? The new position that they were going to open, they never opened that position. Is someone that just quit, and I was the next on the line at that moment.
So I believe then the universe is perfect.
Yes.
But you have to align with the universe,
Of
with God.
course. You need the skills. If I haven't have the skill at that moment, I will never get a job. Of course.
Of course.
Yes.
So then you got the job, and then you start working from the get-go. You start learning a lot of things, the switchboards, and I think it was hard for you because it was a new field where it was.
Oh my God, that was too much information at the very first. That, of course, there were a lot of vocabulary that I didn't know. First of all, so I'm lucky with my boss as well because he's so like
easygoing.
Like he's so easygoing, easygoing. So it was like, no worries, you're gonna take your time. You're gonna take your time because in less than 2 weeks I was already working on my first project, and the things like in the company, projects are one project per person. So I'm the one that is designing all of the lights. I'm the one that is designing all of the structural steel structure. I'm the one that is putting all of the switchboard together. And of course, there is like too many standards, of course, that you have to follow. So we're too many things. But thanks to I knew the software was easier.
Yeah, of course. And what recommendation would you give to future students or people that are not right now in 45 visa like you were or you're still going to get a job?
So if you are studying civil construction design, like study Revit or AutoCAD. Like that's so important. That doesn't matter if you don't know anything about how the roads are created, how the bridge are created, loads and all of that thing. That doesn't matter. If you know Revit and AutoCAD, like if you know the software and how to navigate around the software, the companies are willing to teach. Yes.
Yeah, and that's how they can get a job basically, because they can show in the interview what you did, you know?
Yes. Like we are drafters, like we are designers. Like what you need to know is the software. Yeah. That's it.
Because we have a lot of students from other providers that, I don't want to criticize that, but I have seen it because I was an agent before as well, sending students to different colleges, but they were not giving them like only 9 weeks of AutoCAD and that's it, you know? And then the students saying like, I'm not able to find a job now, I have 18 months, time is clicking, and then I have to go off Australia or I have to find a partner to stay longer here or, you know, whatever. Or do a master degree, which now the situation in Australia is not that easy. So I reckon like the options get more difficult. So make it easy for you, right?
Yes, and there is too many opportunities. Like if you go to Seek or any of that type of pages, there is like every time positions available for drafters.
Yeah, so I think that would be the next step for them. And in that sense, I would say like you're an example for not only men, but also women. Because I think women sometimes, because this course is more about construction, sometimes they think they cannot succeed. And what I have seen is that in Abbey College, the best students are women, which is great. You know, like we had Eduarda before, we have Noemi, you, Keyla, and of course there are a lot of men people that are really good, but you guys are, I think, so dedicated, so pushy with the skills that you guys go to the next level.
Yes, I think that you have to maintain your focus and what you want, what you actually want, and what's the industry you want to work in. So yes, I feel that that's the main thing. If you already know what you want, that everything gonna flow.
Yeah, and just to finalize now, I think you have less time for your visa to expire, isn't it? So, what's the next step? You did your expression of interest already, isn't it?
Yeah. So I already did my expression of interest. I'm still waiting because my visa is finishing on 29th of April, right?
Yeah.
That probably gonna come like 1 week before my visa expire, or maybe the day my visa is going to expire, because I have heard about cases like that.
Yeah.
Because I'm working in the industry. I have like too many things that Australia needs.
Yeah.
But of course, I have a second option right now. That is my partner.
Yeah.
Yes, but
so like you have a lot of things, you know.
Yes.
A lot of probabilities.
And the sponsor as well.
Oh no! Look at that.
Yes, the sponsor as well. I talked to my boss, and they were willing to give me the sponsor if because of course April is just here.
Yeah.
So my boss was like, if there is like no much time to get all of your things together, if you have to go to Colombia and you have to work from there, let's do it, work from there, and then we do everything for you to come back. So yes, I have like all the opportunities because I create the opportunities.
Because you create
yes, I
your
create
own
the
reality.
opportunities.
Amazing. I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so just to get everything clear for everyone that is seeing the video. So basically the pathway for you is you study 2 years course, vocational course on Advanced Diploma of Civil Construction Design. Right now is a Diploma and Advanced Diploma of Civil Construction Design. It's the same. It's just that now we have to do a CDR. But before, you just get your skill assessment. After you complete your course, you apply to the 485 visa, and now you need 6 months of experience to start doing your expression of interest. And of course, depending on your English requirements of your partner, you get some kind of points, right? And then after that, regarding your migration agent advice, you could apply for expression of interest and registration of interest in here in South Australia, and you're waiting to be invited, right?
Yeah.
That's the situation, or you have a sponsor, or you have partner visa, or I don't know what else you can get, but I think you are in a good pathway and you have created yourself.
Yes.
So thank you so much, Keyla, for coming here, for sharing your experience to a lot of people. Do you want to give another message, or that's it?
No, just like if you feel that this is really your career, just like focus on learning the softwares like Revit or AutoCAD. Focus on that, and I'm pretty sure you're gonna get that job.
Yeah. And guys, if you are studying this course, we have Revit and AutoCAD workshops every Thursdays from 5:30 p.m. We're giving it right now in a special edition for free for any student. If you're studying another provider or in higher education, or you're just trying to find a job, contact us through Instagram or YouTube directly, and we will support you to give you a registration link, and then we will call you if we have spots available, so you can join our Revit classes, workshops with no cost at all. So Abbey College, also students can join those workshops. We're helping a lot of students, like we did with Keyla, like we did with the previous cases mentioned. And thank you so much for watching this episode. Thank you so much, Keyla, for your time.
Thanks for inviting me.
And I think you are really inspiring a lot of people right now with this video, and also with all the experience that you're having for the teammate that is maybe will join you soon. And who knows? Who knows? But you know, everything is about networking. So don't forget about that. You create your own chances.
Yeah.
So you create your own reality. So where you put your attention is where you put your energy. See you guys in the next episode. Bye bye. Muy bien.